Can I ask you a question? Because I figure you're pretty smart. Have you seen the Taliban? Mr. Engineer, do we have any just any photos, any of the Taliban of every time you see one of them boys, every last one of them, they like these JFIB boys down there in Florida and Texas. Every time you see one, they got an AR-15. These JFIB boys, these white boys, they always carry guns too. But these Taliban got these JFIB boys beat. I've never seen a Taliban without a gun. I ain't never, you see a Taliban, they can put that gun down. So where you put that gun down? I think these boys kiss their wives with their guns in their hand. Anyway, every time you ever see them, you got any more photos, Mr. Engineer, of the Taliban? Every time you see one of them, all of them, and we got a lot of photos of them, right? My question is this. I want to ask you because I figure you can tell me because I trust you. My question is, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at that demonstrator. Look at these guys, right? Lord have mercy, they don't have guns. But one of the guys got a gun. My question is, this is their military. Soldiers wear uniforms, right? Soldiers wear uniforms. You put on khaki pants, khaki shirt, khaki hat, khaki boots, khaki cap, right? Not these guys. These guys come out with dresses on. These long gowns, pants, then all of them have a decorative scarf. Everybody, they all have a decorative scarf. I wish we had more photos. But how you going to go fight a battle man dressed up like that? How you going to fight, But that's how you can't tell the talent, and they all wear different colors. So I'm trying to discover what's going on with that. Anyway, let me get more serious about this whole thing. The Taliban, and I appreciate this as an ideological, philosophical position, is that they fight for Allah. They don't fight for country and for the Constitution and all that kind of stuff that we Americans fight for. And not that I'm against fighting for the Constitution of America. I didn't say that. Don't label me that. Don't be making assumptions about me. So, but they fight for Allah. They do. And you know what the Taliban believe? They believe that if they die in battle, they're going to go to heaven, they're going to get 70 virgins. I ain't going to say that because one of these guys might come looking for me. 70 virgins? One man? So they're not afraid to die because they figure that's the ultimate religious response, contact with Allah. They're going to get 70. So they fight, and they fight for, which is, I think that it's a principle, and the reason why I think we're going to see the upcoming jihad across the globe is that American soldiers, some of them are very patriotic, especially them boys from down there in the South, them Georgia boys, Mississippi boys, them boys from down there in Alabama and Louisiana. They will kill you for America. I can tell you that right now. And Trump's got them on his side now. But I don't think most people are willing to fight like that. And they see America and the West, including Europe, as the West, as the infidel. Right? That means you're the devil. You're the unbelievable. You're the non-believer. You're a Satan worshiper. See that? Look at that. Look at these guys. All these guys got on their headdress. Look at that thing he's got. It looks like a skirt to me with a slit up the side. Boy, these Afghan guys, these Muslim guys gonna hear me talking about that. They're gonna come in and knocking on my door. Hey, Manning! I say, Assalamu alaikum. That'll stop them. Let me. Come on. I'm just being the quintessential James David American. Manning, rather. I don't disrespect Muslims at all. In fact, it's my agenda to try to call them to righteousness. I'm not being disrespectful of anybody here. Right? I am not. Of course, I don't want them knocking on my door either. But they see America as the infidels, except for me. And can I say one other thing that's probably going to get me in trouble with a whole lot of people in America and in the West, is that the Muslims, and especially the Taliban, they have legitimacy from Hagar, who was the wife of Abraham, along with Sarai. and who gave birth to Abraham's firstborn son named Ishmael. And God said he's going to bless Ishmael and make him a mighty fighting force. So quite frankly, when you break it all down in the Bible, the Taliban, they have a legitimacy. They're not illegitimate. They have a biblical prophecy that they're going to be fighting forces, and that what they do is ordained of God. You can't deny them the Bible. You know, for many, many years, we just went with the Jews, the sons of Israel, or Isaac. But my brothers, you got these brothers right here. These are Bible prophesied people. These boys came out of the womb of Hagar. And this is legitimate Bible stuff. This ain't no joke. This ain't no some concoction. And we're like them boys over there, you know, calling themselves the real Jews, the Israelites, calling themselves the real Jews. What a joke that is. But no, these boys, these Taliban, these Muslims have a biblical legitimacy that if you're going to respect the Bible, if you respect the Bible, you got to respect these boys as being called of God and being sons of God. You got to do it, man. Now, you may not want to. You know, you may not want to in your defense of Jesus, but I can tell you that. I'm going to tell you something, man. These boys were born in the Bible. These boys were born before the Jews were born. I'm telling you, these boys were born of Hagar and Ishmael before Isaac and the Jewish boys were born. I'm telling you what God loves. These boys are legitimate. They are legit. They are official, Bible official. Now, they dress crazy is all outdoors. I ain't never seen nobody, what? Yeah, I probably, you know, who's a real soldier? You know, somebody else, I get an outfit like that, dressed like that, you know, and that way you don't get shot. Of course, who's that guy standing behind them? They're lucky he ain't got no gun with the red thing on his head. He ain't got no gun. But it is, some people suggest that the Western nations, including Russia, went into Afghanistan and years ago to get their heroin. You know, Afghanistan was one of the mega places on planet Earth where the poppy seed grows, you know, and the poppy seed is where you cut it open. That white stuff runs out of that pure heroin. I'm telling you, that stuff will make one poppy seed will make 1,000 junkies scratch and itch for days. A lot of people said that's why America was in Afghanistan, to get that heroin, bring it back to Harlem and South Central Los Angeles and up there in South Bronx, sell it up there and make money. That's what a lot of people said. I don't know if that is true, but there's a lot of heroin in Vietnam as well. Now, the last two battles that America was in has been in the heroin capital of the world, Vietnam and Afghanistan. They got some of the best dope in Afghanistan you ever want to see. And them great big old C-17 planes would flying that dope out of Afghanistan. I don't know this to be true. I don't know this to be true. But study, go read about heroin, the heroin in Afghanistan. The thing about it is that the Afghan people, they don't get high on it. They sell it, but they don't use it. But a lot of people said that America was there to harvest that heroin and bring it back and sell it to y'all black people up here in Harlem. That's what I heard. And South Central Los Angeles, and over there in Chicago too, or wherever they can get y'all to buy that dope. The other thing is the Afghan and the Muslims, you might not think about this because if you live in America, you might not know this, but the Afghans and the Muslims, you know, think the geographical terrain of Afghanistan is beautiful. It's very mountainous, if you will, nation. But people love the spirit and the aura of the land of Afghanistan. People born and raised in Afghanistan that spent their first years, they love it. They don't want to go to Casablanca, you know, or Paris. They really don't. They love their land. You know, I love the state of North Carolina, a little town I grew up in. I grew up picking cotton down there, Jim Crow, black, water fountain, color water fountain, all that kind of stuff. But I love the place where I first grew up. Yeah, I do. And one of the reasons because of the values that I learned there and the things that were taught me. But people in Afghanistan love Afghanistan. You see them people running to get on that plane to leave Afghanistan. They serious. Cause they would rather live in Afghanistan than live in New York. And you can hardly blame them. I thought y'all needed to know that information, you know. because you're not going to get this from ABC, CBS, and NBC and CNN and all these other people that are phonies. But me, I'm James David Manning, everybody. I'm the Lord's servant, and don't you ever forget it. I want to ask you to come up close for just 1 second, and I want to talk to 3-year and older veterans of the Trust in the Lord Hour, the Open Rewards Prayer Meeting, the Manning Report, and the Pulpit of Power, those 4 ministries that we do every week, producing at least 20 different ministries or sermons every week. If you are a 3-year or older veteran, by old I mean 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, older veteran of any of these ministries that we do on a daily basis every week, and you are not a supporter, you've not joined with the ministry to give to pledge your support and your alignment with what we've been teaching. My question is why? You've had 3 years to observe us. You've had 3 years to listen to us on a daily basis, all weekend, all day long, any hour of the day. We're broadcasting. You've had 3 years to watch our various successes. You've 3 years to watch our ups and downs. You've had 3 years to listen to the tenor or the consistency of what we have said, whether we are consistent or whether we're all over the chart and what we do and what we believe. You've had 3 years to watch people around us who have made the commitment to join with our ministry in church and to financially support it. And by the way, I want to give another shout out to Brother Jesse Munoz out there in San Bernardino, along with Goldfinger, who is just extraordinary giver, and others that do extraordinary giving to our ministry. My question is to you, if you are a 3-year veteran or older, why haven't you joined? Why haven't you committed? And I suppose some of the reasons would say, well, Pastor Man, I belong to another church. And why? How could you, after 3 years of hearing me teach about the Sabbath, about righteousness, about the tribulation, and listen to me faithfully as you do, and still go sit up in another pastor's face? How could you be? It's like a woman sleeping with 2 men. You know, one she likes during the week and the other she likes on the weekend. It's hypocritical. How could you do that? I mean, essentially, you started 3 months ago. I can understand. Well, it may take you some time to evaluate. It may take you some time to look at me, to discover, who I am. You say, well, Pastor, that's not that I don't belong to another church or ministry. I'm with you. But there's some things you say I like, and there's some things you say I don't like. Why? Why is it that you've made a decision that there's some things that you don't like are stronger than the things that you do like? I am not a psychiatrist, but I am an analyst. And I have to tell you, I analyze the world, understanding. The understanding and wisdom tells me this, that if there are things that a person such as myself that I am saying, there is no room to disagree with what I am saying unless your purpose is to find something to disagree with. Let's say, for instance, you say, well, I like the fact that you talk about Obama, but I don't like the fact that you talk about Trump. Let's say, for instance, you're one of those, right? Well, the purpose, it isn't that you just like what I say about Obama, but don't like what I say about Trump. What it is that you are looking for a reason to support Trump. It isn't that you don't like it. It's just that you don't like the fact that I'm saying something about him. It isn't that what I'm saying is wrong. Let me put it that way. It isn't what I'm saying is wrong or indifferent. You know it's right. But you've lived your life, or you've come up, or you've been raised with a doctrine that you can really live in a false reality. That's where you are. You've been raised in a doctrine that you can live in a false reality. That is to say, you can like the truth about Obama, but you don't like the truth about Trump. And it's the same truth. It's the same truth. There's no difference. But because you have been indoctrinated to live in a false reality, you are really a person who needs psychological debriefing. But trust me, there are zillions of people around the world who live that way. There are people who know what I'm saying about Trump or Obama is right. They know it, but they choose to ignore it based on the fact that they find a reality that isn't true and they've settled in there. Say, well, that's one of the reasons why I've not made a commitment, because, I don't like the fact, I wish you would support what I support. But the truth of the matter is, then why do you come? You've given 3 years or more of your life to listen to me? 3 years of your life to listen to me? And you're not tired of listening to me yet? And you've given 3 years of your life, and over the past 3 years, your life has been greatly upgraded. You've learned, you've been educated, you've been enlightened. And let me say this to you. If you make the commitment, say, well, Pastor, I'm joining with you and I'm going to support, I'm going to do the tithe and offering, I'm going to do the first fruit, I'm going to keep the Sabbath, your life is going to soar. Now listen to me very carefully. Now I'm not going to leave you alone after this. Listen to me very carefully. You come as often as you come over the past 3 years because you're being helped. You're being educated. You're being enlightened, right? Right. But the thing that you like, whether you say, well, I like what you say about Obama, but I don't like what you say about Trump. You do the same thing with the Word of God, such as you like the things I say, the teachings that I say, the way I explain the Bible, the way I break it all down and make it clear. But when it comes to things like money or tithing and offering or the Sabbath, well, that is also true, but because of your false reality, because you really need a psychological debriefing, because of your false reality, you choose not to believe the tithe or the first fruit or the Sabbath. Now, it isn't that it isn't true. It's as true as all the other things I've said. But you live in a false reality where you try to ignore the truth about the tithe, and so you don't do it. But everything else I say is good to go. Everything I ever say is good to go, good enough to share with your friends. It makes you laugh. It educates you. It enlightens you. But the tithe, well, and the full commitment to the ministry, well, the first fruit offerings, well, the Sabbath, that's all true as well. But you have chosen and you've been raised and indoctrinated to have a dual reality, which is dangerous. Jesus said this, and I'll leave you. He said, I would rather you be either hot or cold, but not lukewarm. You're lukewarm. You have a dual reality. He said, if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. I would rather you be completely stomped down against Pastor Manning, trying to take him down. Be fully against him. Be against him with all of your strength. Or be fully for him with all of your strength. But don't be in the middle, somewhere lukewarm. You're better than to be spit out of the mouth of Jesus if you're lukewarm. So what's it going to be? You're going to make the commitment and grow and be even better blessed, or you're going to continue to walk in the lukewarm spit of the mouth of the Savior. I'm James David Manning, everybody. I'm the Lord's servant.